Good morning. Uh-oh. What's that about? Oh. He's doing that shit again. Well, it's after 2 minutes, so I guess I can say shit. I don't know exactly what happens with the sound when I go into other channels. That's where it's supposed to play. Trying to get this right because I'm working from home. So let's just get this right. Yeah, I see what's happening there. Bring that up a little bit. But hopefully your Tuesday morning, it is Tuesday, right? Hopefully your Tuesday morning is going good for you. I'm just getting back to the point where I'm almost knowing the days again. For so long, it was just every day. It I didn't know what day it was. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to know the days again. That's a good thing. I mean, I know when I got to do shit, but all these days was the same for several months. And now we look like we're getting back to the point where the calendar is going to be the calendar. You know, they had to roll the calendar back. They had to roll the calendar back right, like for October, November, and December. This is the money months. For America, this is the money months. You got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas. America ain't gonna mess that bag up. And though this year is going to be different than last year because America's bag was messed up last year, they gonna take it out your ass this year. And I'm hearing that if you're doing online shopping from some of these retail outlets, you better get your shit early. That's what I'm hearing. They're saying it's gonna be a monster. There ain't gonna be all them last minute sales because there ain't gonna be no last minute products. You gotta understand that things ain't what they were before. They're not what they were in 20, but they ain't what they were in 19 either. So if you don't get the shit early, don't promise your kids some shit and think you're gonna wait until the last minute to get it. Because you're not gonna get it in the last minute. Now it's not gonna be Amazon not delivering it. That's not gonna be this company not having it. It's not gonna be built. There's only so much product that's going to be built. So when you tell your kid that they're gonna get this specific toy, you better hope you get that shit early. And I'm talking about get it and get it. Don't get it, don't buy it. Don't buy it and don't receive it. Cause shit get hung up in manufacturing. I'm not even talking about retail and delivery. I'm talking about manufacturing. They got your money and they gonna keep your money till well after the holidays and then tell you that they weren't able to produce the product and here's your money. Now your kids all pissed off and upset because they didn't get the gift that you promised them. Yeah, that's when you better get to telling them that Santa Claus didn't bring it. See, a lot of y'all still doing that Santa shit, you know. You know, I mean, for practical purposes, I'll tell the kids Santa, but goddamn it, the kids better understand who the fuck Santa is and who the fuck Santa ain't. Real talk. If your kids don't know who Santa is and who Santa ain't in real life, I'm not talking about, you know, going to sit on Santa's lap at the mall and shit like that. You better tell them who Santa really is. Okay? That's why you have Christmas every day. Every day that you can do something, you have Christmas every day. So once the 25th of December rolls around, that ain't shit. What up, Free? What up, Frida? So, yeah. Speaking of the kids, we're going to talk a little bit about the kids today. Well, not really kids, but kids, you know, youngins. We're going to talk a little bit about the youngins today. I ain't got a whole lot of time to be up in this bitch, but the time that I'm going to be up in here, we're going to talk about pop culture, and we're going to talk about nursery rhymes. Because that's what you tell kids, right? When you want to get a kid's attention, that's what you tell them, right? You tell them nursery rhymes. You tell them little catchy shit that captivates their imagination. You tell them fantastical things. That's what you tell children, right? That's what pop culture has told us. You can captivate a child so much to the point where you may make a child fall in love with you and marry you. And we gonna talk about them motherfuckers today. Oh, yes. I know that the talk of the town is R. Kelly and his conviction, but well before Robert Sylvester Kelly came along, there was motherfuckers like Jerry Lee Lewis. There was motherfuckers like Elvis Presley. And there was motherfuckers like Woody Allen. Oh, yes. And a whole lot of people that we ain't even gonna get into. We just gonna pick some notable motherfuckers today. Okay? Because there's been a whole lot of motherfuckers that have married children, that have courted children, that have dated children, that have raped children. It's not a relationship, it's rape. When it's a child and an adult, it's rape. You are not having sex with a child. And I hate that they've normalized that to this day. He was convicted of having sex with a child. She was convicted of having sex with a child. No. No. They didn't have sex with children. They raped children. They raped them. I didn't do that. Y'all see both my hands is taken care of. I did not raise that. Might have been one of the dogs that raised the volume. They like this song too, I guess. They like this song too. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit. Let me get this one done here. Because I gotta get in my phone for some information. Yeah. Just to show you how they have normalized this shit in America. But now that R. Kelly has been convicted, R. Kelly's about to go down for all the devious deeds done prior to him. You have to understand, he's about to do the prison sentence of many, 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 many men that they should have done. Okay? Okay? I thought about this for a while and I was like, you know, it used to just sicken me to my stomach to think about an adult and a child. It sickened me. Then I started to get angry. Then I started, you know what? I mean, I just think all child predators need to be castrated. I don't believe there's any rehabilitation for them. Anybody that likes a child, anybody that is enamored with a child, I don't believe you can help. I believe they need to be castrated because their libido, if it works towards that direction of a child, that's a problem. But see, a lot of y'all not gonna see it that way. A lot of y'all be out there like, oh, she shouldn't have been around them men, looking all fast, acting all fast, wearing them clothes. And then when it was a boy, oh, boys will be boys, he get it from his daddy, No, not when he's 14. He ain't got nothing from his daddy, especially no morals. Shit. Stay with your age group. And you know, as an old man, I can say that, but I know as a young man, I probably saw some adult women that I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have knew what the fuck to do with all that. In hindsight, I know I wouldn't have knew what to do with all that. Now, a few years later, I might have had some idea, and a few years after that, I might have been able to get with that, but I wasn't able to get with that right then. Peace to Cargo420.com. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I don't know if I'll get to that on this one, though, but we're going to talk about that because other people talking about that. Other people talking about that. I usually watch certain people's videos and shit, and I didn't get around to watching the video on Sunday, but somebody hit me to it, and they said, yeah. They said, yeah, somebody talking about you. Somebody talking about you. You better check it out. You better check it out because somebody talking about you. Yeah. Well, I was like, okay. They talking about us? They talking about us? Ha ha. Yeah. Are they talking about us? If they talking about us, they talking about us. If they not talking about us, they not talking about us. But I get it. I see why they talking about us because I ain't got shit else to talk about. Most motherfuckers that talk about me don't have nothing else to talk about. And I don't know why y'all don't have nothing else to talk about. There's a lot of things to talk about out here, but a lot of y'all won't talk about nothing else. Y'all like just talk about what's going on with me. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all act like I'm the only news around, but that's okay. Because now that they talked about us, now somebody else talking about us, and now we gonna talk to who's talking about us. Yeah, that's what we gotta do. And shout out to Brother Nasheed for bringing the real up about the bullshit. Shout out to that brother. I don't rock with every motherfucking thing Tariq says, but I will rock with the truth. I will rock with the truth, and he brings the truth a lot. And he brought it on this. So shout out to that brother recognizing that it's just some more bullshit ass white supremacy on that ass. Lucky us. But here's the thing. So we've had these people in history, in our history, who have fallen. And I have to say fallen because I don't believe that you are at the highest heights. Now, you may be at the highest heights in your career. You may be at the highest heights in the public eye. But when you marry a child, you are not at the highest heights of anywhere. You might be in the highest heights of hell. Because anybody that marries a child is a pedophile, is a sick individual, is someone, in my estimation, who can't be helped. You with a child, dog. You with a child. It's a baby. That's a baby. Now, Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, the motherfucker that used to stand on the piano and all that craziness and shit. I don't think he does that no more. I think he's a little old now. Or did he die? Jerry Lee Lewis die? He might still be living. I don't know if he's living or not. He married his cousin. She was 13 years old. Okay? He married her when she was 13 years old. 13. She had just became a teenager. Just became a teenager. Now, you know there had to be something beforehand, so there's a good chance that he was probably fucking around with her when she was 12, maybe even 11. Who knows? It's his fucking cousin. You heard of kissing cousins. He did worse. Jerry Lee Lewis, he did worse. He did worse than kiss his cousin. He married his cousin. First cousin, once removed. I don't know what that means. First cousin, once removed. That's some justification for your ass. First cousin means that's one of Jerry Lee Lewis's parents' kids. Motherfucker. That's one of your mammies, one of your daddy's siblings, children. First cousin? And he married her. Now, I forgot how old he was. Let's see. She was born in 1944. Let's see when Jerry Lee Lewis was born. Jerry Lee Lewis, she was born in 1944. So when was Jerry Lee Lewis born? Jerry Lee Lewis. He was born in 1935. So when she was 13, he's 9 years older than her. So he was 22. 22. 22 years old, she was 13. And he married her. Now, crazy shit was, the motherfucker had already been married twice. He had already been married twice before, at 22. I believe those women were adults. This little girl, his cousin, was not. And if he married two adults, what made him want to go marry a child? If you've been with two adult women and you married two adult women, what made you want to marry your cousin who was a child? Nine years older than she was. This girl's just going into junior high school. This motherfucker should have been coming out of college. Shout out to Infasol. Infasol. That's who the music is by. I did read the caption of his bio. He said, please throw him a shout out. If you use his music in your clips, throw him a shout out. Infasol. So, you know, maybe one day I can be like some of these podcasters around here and get my own theme music. But I'm just not that big. Not that way. But it's all good. I guess I can't be great like some. But here's the thing. As he married his cousin, he was still married to another woman, which makes him a bigamist, which is a convictable offense, which he could go to prison for bigamy. But did they put him in prison for bigamy? No. Did they put him in prison for child abuse? No. Did they put him in prison for marrying a child? No. And you know why Jerry Lee Lewis didn't go to motherfucking prison? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know why he did not go to prison for marrying his 13-year-old cousin and then having to remarry her again because the document wasn't real? So they had a chance to second guess this shit. When they found out that he was still married to the other woman and his marriage to his cousin wasn't real, even though it really shouldn't have been real because it was his cousin, but when they found out that that wasn't legal, they went back and did it again. Yeah. Went back and did it again, motherfucker. But let me just tell you something. Because we got some sick, sadistic shit happening in this country. Let me just explain it to you. Okay? Mississippi, without parental consent, you can be 15 years old in Mississippi and get married without parental consent. Okay? Still a developing child at 15 years old. I know there's girls out here who some people think, oh, you know, she looks grown. No. 15. Developing mind, developing body. Without parents, you can get married in Mississippi. Guess where Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin? There was also some really disturbing shit that I saw too. I don't know what the fuck is going on in goddamn Massachusetts and New Hampshire. In New Hampshire and Massachusetts, with parental consent, you can get married at 12 and 13 years old, respectively. Your parents can give you a permission slip to get married at 12 and 13 years old, respectively, in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. You sick fucks. Who the fuck would sign their kid off at 12 and 13 years old? I mean, it's bad enough here with parental consent. Hawaii, 15. Missouri, 15. It's bad enough. Then you start a whole slew of 16s all the way down the board. Who got Ys? Who got Ys? Nobody got Ys. Indiana was the first state I came across that was at 17. Still too young, goddammit. Still too young. Indiana, Nebraska, and Oregon, and Washington, 17. I don't believe you should be able to fucking get married with parental consent at all. Because if they're going to allow your parents to sign off on you and you are not an adult, how can you not be able to vote, but you fucking out there trying to make a living and have a family? You can't buy a pack of cigarettes legally. You can't drink legally, but they'll let you get married? This is a sick country. Sick, sick, sick. Massachusetts, 12 years old. New Hampshire, 13 years old. Sick. You sick dogs. I mean, it's just nasty to think that somebody could sign off on their child to be married at 12, at 13. Jerry Lee Lewis's wife didn't have to get, I want to say daughter and shit, because this is young to be his daughter, didn't have to get fucking consent at 15 in Mississippi. Maybe the first time, but you know what? Mississippi doesn't have a minimum age. You can be any age and get married in Mississippi with parent consent. So if her parents said, it's okay, we know you're cousins, you've always loved each other, so they could have gave consent before she turned 15, because there is no age requirement. And California has some weird shit going on too. There's no age requirement with parental consent in California either. That's weird. That's weird. Information man, what's good with you? So when I hear things like, well, did the parents give consent? Do I give a fuck if the parents gave consent? She was 15. The first time 13. Aaliyah was 15. Yeah, we're going to get to R. Kelly in a minute, because R. Kelly ain't the only fall guy here. He ain't the only fallen guy here. Jerry Lee Lewis fell way before R. Kelly did. And right after Jerry Lee Lewis, came the King of rock and roll. Yeah. Really, really weird shit here. But not really. Elvis Presley, he met Priscilla Presley when she was 14 years old. But they didn't get married until she was 22. So you're trying to tell me that between 14 and 22, that they never had sexual relations? Because it does state here that Elvis had been unfaithful to Priscilla early on in their relationship. He knew she was too young to have sex with him, so he sought satisfaction elsewhere. See how they tried to normalize the fact that they had a relationship, but because she was young, they weren't fucking? You a goddamn lie. You a goddamn lie. They just didn't get married till she was 22. Elvis Presley broke Priscilla Presley's cherry, I'm sure. Early. But nobody wants to talk about that shit. Met her at 14, you married at 22? Yeah. You're full of shit, bro. You're full of shit, because he had already made his career. He was trying to hold on. And he had strong enough people to keep him from marrying her before she was of an adult age, but the fact that the 8-year relationship had been going on, still just as guilty. Still just as guilty. And how old was Elvis? See, I don't know how old Elvis was. Let me see. Priscilla. Elvis Presley. See, I didn't do the backstories on these motherfuckers because it really wasn't that big of a thing to me to know how old, but I really want to know now. Elvis was born the same year. Goddamn, pedophiles was born in 1935, weren't they? Jerry Lee Lewis was born in 1935, and Elvis Presley was born in 1935. So he married Priscilla when he was 32. She was 22. So when he was 8 years before, 32. So when he was 24, she was 16. But he met her when she was 14. So when he was 22, she was 14. Damn near identical shit. Jerry Lee Lewis was 22. His cousin was 13. Elvis Presley was 22. Priscilla was 14. These motherfuckers was combing the schoolyards, y'all. They was combing the schoolyards. No. But y'all want to talk about R. Kelly. Yeah, y'all want to talk about the Pied Piper. Nah. Let's talk about Great Balls of Fire. Let's talk about the King. Y'all want to talk about the king of R&B. No. Let's talk about the kings of potty training. Elvis Presley and Jerry Lee Lewis. These motherfuckers literally married children, had relationships with children. And yes, I know we can get to R. Kelly and say, yes, he did that with Aaliyah and possibly a few other minors. I get it. But well before R. Kelly, how come nobody talked up about these two? How did it become so normal for these two to have underage spouses and nobody said anything? Because they're white, and that's white supremacy. See, white supremacy does not always come knocking for the blacks. If there was no white supremacy, this would have never happened. Because there's plenty of people that are sickened by this deed that either one of them did. Sickened. But who stopped it? Who stopped it? He's another one. And he's a special one. Because he didn't marry his cousin. He didn't marry a longtime acquaintance. He married his daughter. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. He married his daughter. You understand me? When you marry your daughter, you are a sick fuck in just totally different levels. Sick. You sick motherfucker. You married your daughter, bro. And it wasn't his biological daughter. She was adopted. Okay? She was adopted. And she was adopted by his former wife, Mia Farrow, and her former husband, Andre Previn. Now, it was his stepdaughter. Let's be clear. Let's Americanize it a bit, because the further that I take him away from it being his real daughter, I know it gets more normal. And maybe that's why nobody has ever said anything, because it's his stepdaughter. And maybe it would be a little bit more acceptable to me had he not known his stepdaughter since she was 7. See, he knew his stepdaughter from 7 to 21 when he married her, when he was 56. This motherfucker was 3.5 decades older than his wife. 3.5. 35 years. When he was in his mid-30s, his wife was born. How does that make you feel to be 35 years old and to know that your wife just got into the world? What was he feeling like at that time? At 35, did he say, my wife was just born? Really? You motherfucker? Woody? Left up to me, you wouldn't be Woody. Left up to me, you wouldn't have any genitalia to get wood with. You sick fuck. You married your daughter. You sorry, dog. You a sorry motherfucker. But ain't nobody gonna say shit because it's Woody Allen. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know if I've ever even seen a Woody Allen project. I don't give a fuck. He can take his hunched ass, bucket hat wearing, cardigan sweater wearing ass somewhere and eat a fucking bagel. I don't give a fuck. Piece of shit. Appreciate you checking out. Here's the thing. The way I bring things, I know is differently than the way other people bring things, and I don't give a fuck. That's just me. I enjoy people's content for the way they deliver it, if it's original. I have a hard time enjoying anybody's content if I feel like they stole the delivery from somebody. But if they have stolen the delivery from somebody, hopefully they're good at it. If you're going to impersonate somebody, at least be fucking good at it. Don't be a goddamn hack. Don't be a hack. I mean, come on. If you're going to copy somebody, at least copy them good. Be the Rich Little of fucking biting. I loved Rich Little as a comedian. I heard he was a bigot. I don't really know. Didn't really get into his personal life. But he had impersonations and shit that were great. I heard Don Rickles was a fucking bigot back in the day. But, you know, we're all old white men pretty much bigots back in the day. I don't really get into that shit. You know, you'd see them on these shows and they do these impressions and shit. And that's all I saw them for, is fucking hooligans. That's all I saw them for. But, you know, I guess Don Rickles has said some greasy shit. I don't know if Rich Little ever said any greasy shit publicly, but I think they were all pretty much bigots. You know, yeah. There was a time in this motherfucker where we just didn't get any type of respectability. Come on. So it is what it is. But to think of a person who can marry their daughter, it's sick. And I know, like I said, biologically, she's not his child. But you raised her, dog. You met her when she was 7. She had already been with your now new wife and her ex-husband. You met her and you raised her as your child. How did you fall in love with her? How did you fall in love with that child? I want to know what type of sickness goes on in a person's brain to fall in love with a child? Come on, man. You can't justify that shit. You can't justify being with a motherfucking kid. You can't do that. You can't justify that shit. I don't think I could justify. I don't think I could ever justify no shit like that. Move shit around. Hope everybody's Tuesday morning is going well, or when you see this, hopefully your day is going well. I get past that sometimes and don't wish people a good day and have a good day. And I don't want to be deemed as insensitive, even though I kind of am. I'm not insensitive. I think I'm desensitized. I think I'm desensitized to a lot of bullshit, so I don't really get into it too much anymore. I'm trying to figure out what's in the mind of a male, because he's not a man. You already know I make the distinction. There's men and there's males. Anybody that's out here sleeping with a child is not a man. They are a male. Let's get it straight. There's men, and there's males. Something I heard Brother Pharaoh say. Not that young nigga. I don't know what's wrong with that young nigga. I can't fuck with that young nigga. I'm talking about Pharaoh said that. He said, I'm taking the word real back. He said, I'm taking the word real back because you motherfuckers using the word real wrong. And I do believe him. There are a lot of people out here using the word real wrong because they like to say real nigga. And I don't really believe there's anything such as a real nigga. You know, I picked up a lot of ism from Pharaoh. I already said he's like my old uncle or some shit that I never had. I really needed to have an uncle like that. Or boy, oh boy, we might not even be on this motherfucking video right now if I had an uncle like Pharaoh and had grown up around him. I mean, I had a lot of uncles that I grew up around, but none like Pharaoh. And he said, we taking the motherfucking name real back because you niggas is using it wrong. Because a real nigga is not a motherfucker that's out here shooting and killing. A real nigga is not a motherfucker who's out here having sex with children. And I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers is out here and you know people that's doing it. Hopefully I don't have nobody that watches my cast that are doing that. But I know y'all know some people that's out here fucking with kids. I know you do. I know you do. Roland Martin cracks me up. So I saw this shit and I be trying to tell people, stop taking pictures and videos at your workspace. I don't know what type of documentation you had to sign to get the job, but sometimes you sign, when you get the job, you be real happy and you get off into them rules and regulation books. Now they have, in some of those booklets, they have that you are not allowed to like film shit that goes on in the midst of those workspaces. Like you can't have like digital imaging and shit on your social media and shit like that. So y'all got to be careful about taking pictures around where you work and shit. When you take pictures around where you work, that might violate your rules and regulations guide, and you might be going against the community guidelines of your place of employment. Therefore, they can fire you. And this nurse just got fired for taking pictures at the work spot. Says she was posting patient photos on social media. Now, I didn't go into the video yet. I just saw this because I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into it. I want to see if she was really being stupid and posting motherfuckers' videos or pictures online, or was it just like she was in there with the pictures like, hey, this is my favorite patient, click, click. That's innocent. But was she doing shit and like showing them in a bad light or something? Either way, she got fired. She got fired for putting images of the patients online. That probably goes against HIPAA, okay? I know HIPAA can work for you sometimes and then not work for you. This time it didn't work for her. She shouldn't have been taking them goddamn pictures in the first place, but was it an innocent thing or was it something malicious and they said, you know what? You gotta go, okay? You gotta go. You took a picture of John, he's walking down the hall and his gown was open, his ass is out. You gotta go. I don't know if it was malicious. If it was just an innocent thing and she was just taking some pictures with some fucking clients, that's one thing. But if she was doing something malicious, gotta fucking go. I get it. Protect these people's privacy in these nursing homes, convalescent homes, assisted living, full-scale convalescent homes. Take care of these elderly people. They don't even know what social media is. They think you're just taking a picture and a Polaroid's gonna pump. They don't realize that millions of people could have potentially seen that picture. They don't realize that. They have no idea about social media. When they were lucid, computers were like in their infantile stage. So, yeah. So, I still haven't caught up with the motherfucker who was looking for me. Maybe they're not looking for me anymore. I know they've been looking for me and shit. I mean, if they looking for me, I just need them to know. Please understand, I'm here. You've been looking for me where I'm at. I'm right here. I'm right here. Here I go. Why people be looking for me and shit when I don't be looking for them? Why are you checking for me if I ain't checking for you? You got something for me? You got some money? If you ain't got no money for me, the fuck you looking for? Don't be looking for me. It costs to look for me. So, R. Kelly, we know him for his marriage to Aaliyah, falsified documents, falsified IDs to get that situation happening. I blame him 100%, but I also blamed Aaliyah's mother because she knew of the budding relationship. I blame her uncle Barry Hankerson, because he knew of the budding relationship. They allowed Aaliyah to be with him for how long alone, touring with him, knowing his history, and you still allowed this woman to be with him, this young child to be with him. Don't let me normalize that shit. When she was a kid, they said she was like 11 when he first met her. 11. I don't know when things started with her, but she was 11 when he first met her. Probably started working on that album probably at 13. By the time she was 15 and the album comes out, married? He was 27. She was 15. Come on, man. Why would you even allow your child to be in the company of a grown man like that without your presence? Or y'all recording tonight? Okay, I'll be down at the studio. I'll be right up in the motherfucking studio, laid up on the goddamn couch. You're not going to be in here with my daughter all night long and she's 15 and you're 27? I have to give him the ditty. E-Rock. You're not going to do it. You're not going to hold my daughter up in a recording studio or at your house, or maybe even both. You know, R. Kelly did have a recording studio at his house. We could just go right from the studio right to the bedroom. Or the studio had a bedroom. Come on, man. You allowed your kid to be there? Aaliyah's mama's culpable. Barry Hankerson's culpable. Bring them in. Let's talk to them. I don't give a fuck how old they are. Bring them in. They're just as guilty as he. I know everybody's been talking about it. But see, it wasn't just R. Kelly. R. Kelly had generations of pedophilia to follow after as a pop music star who got married to an underage child. There was blueprints already laid out there. Jerry Lee Lewis married one at 13, didn't get it right because he was married to another chick still, so he did it again at 15. Elvis Presley met one at 14, and then he said, we can't do this till we're 22. So whatever they did between 14 and 22, that went to Elvis's grave. Priscilla's holding on to it, ain't saying shit, but I'm sure they fucked between 14 and 22. You can't tell me shit. No, don't even think about it. And as far as Woody Allen goes, so yeah, you met her at 7. You guys got married at 21. Okay. Yeah. Yep, 21. Let me make sure. I'll make sure all my documentation's right. You know, they'll try to knock me and be like, oh, you know, the date was wrong. He didn't marry her when she was 20. Hold on a second. Let me see. Bam. No, I'm sorry. They fell in love when she was 21. They didn't get married till she was 27. So 6 years later. 6 years later. Oh my God. This has got to be, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And then I'm going to hurry up and get the fuck up out of here because I just got appalled all over again. Jesus Christ. Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Woody Allen, all born in the same fucking year. All born in the same... I got to go back and see it. Just got to make sure. I'm pretty sure, though. They're all born in the same fucking year. Yeah. Hell. Yep. Let's take him out, and let's put this motherfucker in here, and... Yep. All born in the same year, 1935, the year of the pedophile, the year of the pedo. 1935, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, and Woody Allen, all born in the same year, all married underage women. Well, Woody Allen didn't marry an underage woman, and Elvis Presley didn't marry an underage woman, but I goddamn believe that they had relationships with them. Can't tell me that they fell in love when she turned 21 and married Elvis when she was 22. No. You met her at 14. You was probably fucking her around 16. Yeah, they said that they fell in love over a holiday party when she was 21. Now, they done went to a bunch of holiday parties. By then, she should be calling Woody Daddy, Dad, Pops, Father, something. Not baby, not sweetie, not honey. You fucking kidding me? How do you grow up under a man who's supposed to be your father and even let it slide that way? You know, Dad, I've always thought you were handsome. What the fuck? You sick ass people. You're sick. But they was white. R. Kelly, he black. In jail. White supremacy like a motherfucker. So, we as people have to hold ourselves and others accountable for shit like this. Because the normalcy of it is people have lauded and loved Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley and Woody Allen, and they never dive into their personal lives. Whereas R. Kelly's personal life has been on Front Street since the beginning. They were able to sweep all that up under the rug and allow those people to go out and have ridiculous careers, uninhibited, uninterrupted, unadulterated. But they're still pedos, aren't they? So I'm about to get up out of here. But before I get up out of this bitch, I know people that's been in the Michigan area. If you're watching this motherfucker in the Michigan area, if you're not watching this motherfucker in the Michigan area, you've been around and you've been hearing some things, right? You know. And I'm only going to touch on it right now because I reached out to the brother. And Frida, you got to reach out to the brother. I need you to make sure you reach out to the brother and let him know that your brother wants to talk to him. But last night, a brother hit me up to some shit because I hadn't caught up from a weekend broadcast. So, so I wanted to tap into something that I heard last night. I don't always rock with the brother Tariq Nasheed with everything that he says, but for the most part, he be on point with some of his shit. Be honest with you, like dead on. When he pulls out the white supremacy of some shit, I gotta run with it because a lot of times it's right there. No, you know, embellishing, knowing this, that, and the other. Tariq is great at that shit. Great at that shit. Boy, I would have hated coming up with that motherfucker. We'd have been snapping in the lunchroom every goddamn day. He's slick with his tongue. I'm slick with my tongue. We talk shit about motherfuckers, and we go core with it too. We don't just talk about topical shit. We go all the way core. We're going to talk about your mammy, your daddy, your granddaddy, your grandmammy. Come on, we talking about everybody. Might talk about the motherfucker that you're sitting right next to, just because we slick like that. But Tariq Nasheed, the brother is, and he's brilliant in what he's done with his historical videos, bringing out Black history, unadulterated, you know, no redacted info. He brings out all the shit, and that's why motherfuckers don't like the shit, because he brings it. You talking about critical race theory? Watch one of his fucking movies. Yeah, he'll make a motherfucker be like, "What? That shit happened? Oh shit! Yeah. Really." I used to watch his videos and get mad, so I stopped watching shit. Because I just get like, these motherfuckers. Now I turn that into fuel. But I watched the brother a couple days ago. Well, I'm sorry, watched him yesterday from a couple days ago, and he said some shit. Y'all know I'm connected with a group of folks that are called cargo420.com. And we have an overzealous roving reporter here in the state of Michigan. Yes. Who decided he would just come down on us, you know, and then get with some other motherfuckers and try to make us look bad out in this bitch. Well. It made it all the way to LA because Tariq checked it out. And I was like so fucking happy.
Propaganda news story popping off right now out in Detroit. Now,
did you hear that?
They've been locking Detroit because they use propaganda. Propaganda is a main tool of white supremacy. They've used it then, they use it now. Speaking of propaganda, out there in Detroit, there's a propaganda news story popping off right now out in Detroit. Now, you know, they've been locking brothers up for weed, and they've given all of these white people all of these legal weed licenses, but now they still have to demonize Black people for weed. Now that weed is legal, how do you demonize Black people for weed? We gotta still
You do it by putting out false propaganda. You do it by exercising white supremacy. You do it by finding a thriving business that's hurt no one, on record, off record, today, tomorrow, and just run with it. Because you can. You've got the platform, you've got the camera, you got the microphone. Let's go fuck with some niggas.
Even though it's still legal. I want y'all to look at this story that came out of Detroit. This is grade A Jim Crow style propaganda right here. Look at this story and look at the racist undertones of this story right here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this story. Listen to this. Hold on.
From licensed providers is tested and safe. So we had some unlicensed delivery weed tested, and the results are a real bummer.
See, he works with writers and, you know, content creators, and he puts these stories together. He likes to sensationalize it because the story don't have no weight. The story ain't got no balls. So he's got to give it balls by giving it bullshit. Now I'm gonna let y'all go check this last Tariq video that he did on Sunday. You go check it out. Recycling Lies. That's what the video is called. It's called Recycling Lies. Go check it out. I'm gonna even help you out a little bit more. Get to about 44 minutes, 44:30, and then you can check it out. Yeah, just go check it out. I have no problem. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not insulted about shit. But see, since you want to try to do damage, bitch, I'm damage control. And wait till I talk to Mr. Nasheed. Frida, you got a job today. You know your job today. Oh, besides taking care of your family. Yes. We needs to have a conversation. You already know what you need to say, and we go from there. But I got to get up out of here because I got something to do. Hope I don't run across no other old men today dealing with young women, dealing with children. See, even if you old and you dealing with her in her early 20s, motherfucker, I calculate the years and shit, be like, oh shit, you 45, she 22. So when you was 40, she was 17. When you was 35, she was 12. Bitches, what's good with you? Only motherfucker that calls me that is Garan, the award-winning author from Ypsilanti, Michigan, picking up awards all over the goddamn planet. We never even did get together and shit. Truck fucked up, bread got fucked up. Then I had to deal with this bullshit that came down the pipeline the last couple of days. It's all good. But I need my books. I need well, I need hoodie now. Fall now, I need a hoodie. I couldn't get my t-shirt in the summer. Look at that. It ain't just me out here, bruh. It ain't just me out here showing love. Look at that. Woke seed in the chat. Yeah. Motherfuckers who ride with me, they ride with me. They know. They know because I know. If you see that hashtag woke seed, just know it's an award-winning children's book, and it's in about 35 countries now, winning awards everywhere. We got an award-winning author in Ypsilanti, Michigan, named Karan Gaines. So we gonna do what we gonna do. I'm about to get up out of here, invite information. About to get up out of here, brother. Got to get something on, got to get on the road. On the next one, I'll hit you up. I never know where you are in the morning. It's only 7 o'clock out in California, so I wasn't planning to bring you on and shit. You know, some people just catch me early in the morning, especially on the left. But the next one, I get you on and shit. I figure you wouldn't be. You was up late last night, and now you up early this morning. I ain't trying to pull you out. I want to get your do-rag off, you know. Get that Hawaiian silky. Get that right. That bang right. We get on here in a little bit. We got to definitely chop it up. You know I'm silly, man. You know I'm silly. I'm just jealous because the brother got a head full of hair and shit. And, you know, I'm getting a little thin up in the natural. I'm letting it grow a little bit longer and shit. Scaring my granddaughter. She saw me take my hat off. She looked up like, what's that all up there? It ain't really that long, but she usually sees it pretty close. So, but yeah, man, I got to get up out of here. Y'all make sure y'all check that Tariq video so you can hear the whole story if you ain't heard the whole story. And then when I do probably get back in the studio, I'm gonna run it a little bit longer. But hopefully by then, Mr. Nasheed has reached out or reached back because we putting it out there. We want to talk. They want to show that bullshit. We want to show the whole shit. One love.